All right, good afternoon, everyone. 1911's. This one is my Delta Elite clone copy. All right. This one here, I really like this gun. I built this. I nickeled the slide myself. Um, the nickel is starting to come off the top. I should have put the nickel on thicker, but I made the nickel solution myself, nickeled it, left it a little bit two-toned, black hammer, black trigger, black slide release, stuff like that. The grips, I bought the emblems and put them in, the Delta Elite emblems. It is a 10 millimeter bull barrel, doesn't have a barrel bushing in it. Full length guide rod, stainless steel guide rod. Wilson Combat beaver tail grip safety, Wilson Combat trigger, Wilson Combat hammer. It has white dot sights with a fiber optic sight in the front. This was a 80% lower that I machined in that, and I stamped my own information on it so I could register it, because in Michigan they have to be registered. Some people said you can register them and put NA for serial number and all that, but I wasn't going to take a chance on losing this gun. This gun is extremely accurate. It shoots better than I can shoot it. Like I said, it's just not worth the hassle to me. There's nothing about this gun that I don't like. I couldn't find a stainless steel slide when I built this, so I nickel plated it to try and make it somewhat match the stainless steel. That's that one. This one here is my favorite of the 1911's. Let me make sure that one's unloaded. When I got this one, and yes, my thumb's covering up serial number, I bought these grips and put on it, but this is a Systema Colt made in Argentina on Colt tooling and that by actual Colt employees, from what I was told. This is a completely numbers matching gun. It's got different sights were put on it. They were on it when I got it. The hammer, I changed the hammer and the trigger. I put Wilson Combat in it. It already had the beaver tail grip safety. I don't know who made that one. It's got a GI barrel in it, a US Colt GI barrel. So it's not the original barrel that came with it. This gun shoots really good. Somebody took the time before I got it to stipple the frame here. They stippled the frame right there. See if I can get that to... And they stippled the whole front of it here, and they did a really, really good job. I mean, it looks professionally done. When I got it, it was Parkerized. I re-blued it and blued it myself, and I really like the bluing on this, the way it turned out, because the bluing is like a bluish, purplish. You can see it when the light hits it just right. It's got a bluish, purplish color to it. It's just a really good gun. This one shoots really good. It doesn't shoot nearly as good as this one. I mean, this thing's a tack driver. But the tolerances on that 10 millimeter are a lot tighter than this. This is all factory tolerances and that. This one will shoot. I don't know if you can hear it. It don't really rattle, but you can feel movement in it. This one's a little bit loose. If you get sand or dirt in this one will continue to shoot. You get any kind of dirt or sand in this one, the slide's so tight in that it just don't shoot real good. I think that's why it's such a tack driver, though, is it just, I mean, the tolerances on this thing are super tight. But that's the way I build it. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm doing this video because I did a poll and the Hand of God guns won first. The 45s came in second. Well, the 1911's came in second. This one's 45 ACP. That one's 10 millimeter. On this one, see if I can get it to focus. This has Revelations 6:8, the verse, engraved into the grips. And it says, "And I looked, and behold, I saw a pale horse, and he who sat upon him's name was Death, and all of hell followed with him." And then on this side, it's got 1911, Revelations 19:11, which coincidentally, this is 1911. And that says, "And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he who sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doth judge and wage war." So I put them on here. These are giraffe bone, these grips. I've always liked the look of a blued gun with ivory grips. And that giraffe bone looks like ivory. It's actually aged very much like ivory. I mean, these things were bone white when I got it. It's hard to see in this video, but this side where it touches the skin when I do carry it is a little more yellow than the other side. And that's from the oils and stuff and your skin getting on it. Just like real ivory would do. I'm a big fan of the 1911 as far as semi-autos go. I would have to say the 1911 is my very favorite gun for the as far as semi-auto pistols go. People have mentioned that, like on my Hand of God guns, I got the crosses on them. That's just how Russell Crowe's character Ben Wade had them, you know, or had on his gun when he did it. It wasn't that, it was just, I was copying his gun. On this one, it's got the Bible verses on it. I had them engraved like that, or scrimshawed, because I am a Christian, maybe not a very good one, but I was raised with Christian beliefs, and I'm also a big Johnny Cash fan, and he actually has these Bible verses in his song, "When the Man Comes Around," at the beginning and at the end. He has the white horse at the beginning of the song and the pale horse at the end. And I try and be a good Christian. I try and bring God into what I do. My thought is I hope that I never ever have to use one of these in any of my guns in a situation to protect myself or whatever. Hopefully I never have to. And I guess that's kind of my way of you know, saying a prayer in case I forget. I don't know. Like I said, just Revelations is my favorite chapter of the Bible. And like I said, Johnny Cash fan, so it just seemed appropriate to put them grips on the gun. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. This one also has a full-length guide rod in it, stainless steel. But this has, you know, match grade barrel bushing in it that I put in it. Reamed it so that I get nice tight fit with the barrel. I did re-blue, like I said, the whole gun, including the barrel. These Argentine Colts are actually really good guns. I mean, everything, they're built exactly to GI spec in that. They're, like I said, they're actually really good guns. This one is probably my favorite. I just really like the blue gun with the ivory looking grips on it, you know, just like I said. But I had told you guys I would show you these, and I call this my Revelations 1911. And then this one here is just my 10 millimeter 1911, my Colt Delta Elite inspired copy, I guess. Another thing, a lot of people carry these with the safety on like that. locked and cocked. I don't do that just because all my life carrying single actions. Let this plane fly over. I got used to, when I was drawing, to cock the hammer. This one here is a little bit harder to do it, but what I normally do, if I'm carrying it like this, when I draw, just like I would a single action, it's just, for me, it's just habit. Like I said, if I was carrying it, as it comes up, I'm cocking the hammer. Not saying that's the right way to do it, but on the channel before, when I had the channel, I actually did a video shooting these, and people had commented that I don't carry it cocked and locked. No, I don't. These are single action, meaning that you have to cock the hammer to shoot them. If you don't, then they won't shoot. When you shoot, the slide comes back, it automatically cocks the hammer. But these are single action. And so I've just always, since I was a teenager, I've just always treated these like I would a single action army. I carry them hammer down. It is on an empty chamber, or not on an empty, it is on a live chamber, but I just carry them hammer down. That's just how I do it. And actually, on these 1911s, I'd have to take this whole thing apart. But if you look, well, I'll do a separate video sometime. You can push the firing pin all the way in, and it does not protrude out to hit the primer. This firing pin, when the hammer's resting on it and it's pushed the firing pin all the way in, the firing pin's flush with the chamber here. When the hammer actually hits it, the force of the hammer hitting it actually kind of overdrives it into the primer, and then it comes back. At least on every 1911 I've owned. I don't know if every single one of them are that way, but all of mine have been that way. So I don't mind carrying them. Like I said, hammer down as I cock it, you know, or I cock it as I pull. One thing I have noticed, it's not too bad on this one. If you look, this beaver tail grip safety doesn't stick real far back. It's not a problem. I got gigantic hands. I can cock it one-handed like that. On these 10 millimeter, on this 10 millimeter, you can see how much farther back this one is. This one's actually kind of hard, but then it's got a really heavy hammer spring in it too, and that's because even on the Colts, if you lighten these hammer springs up, you know, stuff like that, you can actually crack these frames. You need that, a heavy recoil spring and a heavy hammer spring to cut that back. I mean, I can do this one-handed. This one's a lot harder to do one-handed than the 45. It's actually got lightened hammer spring and stuff in it, and a lightened slide spring or recoil spring, but that's just how I do it. Actually, what I can do is, here's a live magazine. Now it's got one in the chamber. You can see it. I'm going to set this down on the chamber. And I'll be right back. All right, I just went and grabbed a rubber mallet because I'm not going to beat my hammer up on my gun. Again, I'm going to keep this in the frame the whole time so you can see it. But this is loaded. Now, this hammer's down on the firing pin. I'm hitting that so hard, I'm tearing my rubber mallet up. That's why I will carry this like this with the hammer down. Just so that you know that this gun fires. You can absolutely carry these hammer down. Let me unload it. You can absolutely cock as you draw and shoot. At least on every 1911 I've had, you can carry these hammer down. If you drop this, you do anything, it's not going to go off. I don't know about every 1911, but all the 1911s I've had, you can do that with. So anyway, hope everybody has a good day. That's the video on the 1911s. The two that I have, how I carry them, what they are, and like I said, hope everybody has a good day, and talk to you next time.